Welcome to the Class Zero Soldiers podcast. I'm your host, Zero.exe, joined as always by my good buddy Soldier. I know it's been a while, but we're back at it in the studio with some upgrades to our equipment. Hopefully I sound a lot better than I normally do. I've got an actual real mic instead of just a Epic Gamer headset to talk on. But let's start off. How are you doing, Soldier?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, lots happening on my end too, but I would say I'm pretty good overall. Happy to be here as I usually am, and yeah, let's talk games. What have you been playing lately?
So I'm kind of in a holding pattern. A lot of the games I'm looking forward to are the ones I'm waiting for. I know
Okay.
our last episode was back in like August. I think I was finishing up Donkey Kong Bonanza. Great game. I did play Trails in the Sky first chapter. First time ever playing a Trails game. I'll guess that up in a minute. We'll come back to that. It's funny because I ended up picking that game to play instead of Persona 3 Reload on Switch 2 because
Okay.
of how poor the port was when it came out.
Oh, the before the patch.
Yeah, before the patch, which made a massive difference because not only was the game 30 FPS on launch, but it was also a very stuttery 30 FPS. Like there was frame pacing issues. It's not like, oh, it was trying to do too much. Like
Yeah,
there were
that
some
was
engine
a
problems.
rocky launch. Oh yeah, and which is unfortunate because it had. How long have we already had Reload for on other platforms, including PC? Like it's been a while. Like I think it's a year and a half, almost
It's
two
been a
years
while,
now.
yeah, because it came out like what, January of 24? Something like that, or February. Like
I think
it
so.
was out for a long time before it came to Switch 2. I'm still debating getting it now that the patch is out. It's on sale right now in the eShop. So you're trying to talk me out of it, but I don't know, man. I kind of want to get it and check it out, but we'll see. But yeah, I chose Trails in the Sky as the game to play. I'm almost at the end. I'm in the final chapter now, and I got to say, I'm really glad I gave it a shot. There's a lot of crossover between fans of Xenoblade and fans of the Trails series. So I was like, you know what? If there's this many Xenoblade fans that like Trails, I probably will like it too. And I absolutely have. It's been a great game. The story is fantastic, and I love that all of the games, unlike Final Fantasy and Xenoblade, like every game in the series links together and tells one cohesive story. And Trails from the Sky first chapter is in the title, the first chapter of that, where it starts.
So it's very obviously a good starting point
Yes.
then for anybody who hasn't played any previous titles. That's good that they named it something clear that actually has meaning to the overall scope. Because, yeah, I think that's the Trails games have been going on for a long time. Like, I remember them on the
Yeah,
PSP,
since the PS1 days.
but the PS1, yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't think I ever saw any as a kid, like, on the PS1 or heard about it. I think PSP was when I started going, "Oh, what's this Trails series?" I instantly related it to, like, and I'm not trying to be punny, but, like, Tales, right? Like, the Tales series, and it's kind of its own, the Tales games. But, what's one thing from the Trails game on Switch 2 that you've enjoyed that you would say is, like, try to get a new player into playing it?
I'm gonna cheat. I got two,
Oh, yeah.
but I really love the character interactions. They brought the original voice actors back, so Johnny Young Bosch is the voice of Joshua, one of the main characters. But seeing how the characters interact throughout the story has been a lot of
Love
fun.
John.
And the other part is, oh yeah, me too. He's great. The combat is really nice. It has a nice fusion where you can choose like an action based combat or turn based, and the way the game flow is kind of designed is to use the action-based combat until you stun an enemy and then start the turn-based, because then you start with an advantage. But you could also clear mobs just with the action-based combat if you wanted to. So it's nice being able to seamlessly switch between them, and I hope that kind of becomes a staple moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, the second chapter was recently announced. That comes out later this year in the fall, I believe. So I'll be able to continue on with the next game in the saga pretty
Yeah,
soon.
I like that. Okay, that's a great response. Well, great responses. Yeah, I'll have to. I know you showed it to me when I came over at one point, and you showed me like a little bit of the combat, like going through the town, getting to a combat stage, and very unique. I don't think I've seen another. Uh, that's considered a JRPG,
It's
right?
very
Is that a
cozy.
JRPG? It is a JRPG.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's a JRPG
Just
for
like
sure.
Claire Obscure is a JRPG, right? JK. Um,
No, it's a FRPG.
exactly. Oui. Um, what have I been playing? I don't know. I actually don't think I have a one game that I'm playing. I've been picking a few up here and there, like the most recent one to memory. Thanks to you, I got Mario Kart World. Um, because
Yeah, you've been gushing about the single player experience, which is surprising.
it is, especially since my first thought on it when I saw them talk about the free roam, it just sounded like something you give to your kid brother while you're, wanting him to just maybe play around with the game, and maybe you're doom scrolling, and it's little. It's kind of a like hand a kid a tablet, that nasty behavior. So I like it more than I thought I would.
And that's good because you're getting the best version of it. Because I know when it came out, there was no, like, mapper well, I mean, there was a map, but there was no way to really track what you've actually done with regards to, like, the single player missions on the big world
Yeah,
map. And I know they've patched a lot of that stuff in so you can actually see and track what you've
that
gotten
wasn't there on
already, which is
release, huh?
nice. No, that wasn't. It was just the world map and where you could warp to. That's all you could see,
Thank you for saying that.
which to me felt aimless, which is why I never engaged with it.
Oh yeah, no, I like that there's so much to do. And that's actually the thing I do between cups. Like, let's say I lose a cup or I don't feel like actually doing the race again. I just go right into free roam, drop in as whichever character I want to if I don't want to play the last person I'd play as, and then person or animal, I guess, creature. Um and yeah, no, it's been fun. I like it. I like how it plays on the Switch too. The idle battery life definitely seems improved on the Switch too. I think uh, I've had it on for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm still at like 50%, you know? Just picking it up here and there, though. I'm not like playing long sessions, so it's not like it's some crazy,
Mhm.
difference from when I got the Switch 2 in October, I think. But I've been enjoying that. I got a blue retro adapter for my GameCube, which is super unnecessary, but it allows me to play my GameCube NSO controller on my modded GameCube with a Carby for HDMI output, and I really do like how it handles. It handles pretty nice. I don't know what I'll be playing. I do want to get back into maybe the Coliseum modified ROM that we had. Maybe I'll play it on the GameCube. I might do Gale of Darkness instead because we already have it on the Steam Deck for Coliseum. Thank you for putting that on
Yeah.
there, by the way. But like, I might, I think I have a modified version of Gale of Darkness, which I've never played, and I'm more interested in playing something I've never played than replaying. Because man, when I played that game back when I was, yes, this is gonna really reveal my age, but I think I was like what, 14 or 15, and I beat Coliseum all the way 100%, like with
Battle Tower and Ho-Oh
yeah,
and everything?
yeah, I caught Ho-Oh.
Or Mount Battle, not Battle
Purified,
Tower.
yeah, Mount Battle. It's 100 battles, got to go all the way through, and then you've got to purify 49 Pokemon, I believe, in order to get
Yeah.
Ho-Oh. And I did that, and yeah, Gen 3. But anyway, um, let's get into it.
Yeah, before you do though, I just wanna mention, the ROM he's talking about, the modified version of Colosseum. We found kind of like a modernized version of the game that has things like the physical special split. That's kind of the thing that I've been on lately is playing a lot of, like, pre-Gen 4 games that backported the physical special split because I think that's a fun way to modernize the old games and play it in a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to whenever we do decide to play Gale of Darkness. I know right now, speaking of Pokemon, I've also got Pokemon Modern Emerald loaded on my 3DS, and that's been fun to go through. That does the same thing where it brings back a lot of Pokemon that weren't native to the Hoenn region, but were in the first three gens, as well as the physical special split. And it's been a lot of fun playing through that way.
The fairy typing is a welcome addition.
Yes. Yeah, Ralts and Gardevoir are just really, really good in that version of the game because of the fairy typing.
Did they put the late in there or?
I'm pretty Gallade is in there. I think you just have to the evolution method for that was weird. You had to have obviously a male curly at level 30, and it had to level up during the morning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Wow.
And there's two versions of the clock. You can either set it to be like real time, where it's just mirrors whatever the time of day it is in your world,
Okay.
Or you could do it where it's similar like Legends ZA, for example, where it's got its own internal clock and the day and night cycle is quicker. Like I think it means I think 1 hour is a full day in the game.
What do you have it set to then?
I have it set to that one where it just rotates constantly. It's exactly like ZA. It runs basically the same thing, so you'll have several day-night cycles in a single day. So you know, if you need to catch something at a certain time, you don't have to wait a whole day or mess with the clock to do so.
Speaking of day and night cycle, just before we get into it, I just want to say, I really like the day-night cycle in Mario Kart World. In the free roam, it's actually so nice. It's beautiful. Like, I really like what they did with the weather system and the day and night, like,
The weather
just
system's
driving
cool.
around. Yeah, it's also one word, one word. I will sum up my experience so far with Mario Kart World. Bouncy, bouncy.
Bouncy.
A very bouncy game.
Yeah, they really, gave it, like, a more stylized look with just everything, and I love the way it looks, and I haven't touched Mario Kart World in a while, but we definitely need to play some rounds together. Knockout Tour was so much fun, and I have yet to play it since they patched it and made the computers less cheaters in the single player. Because I wanna
That
get
right.
triple stars in all of the Knockout Tours, but it was damn near impossible before they patched it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, and we could do that together. That's something you could do in multiplayer is you could take on the
Oh,
knockout tours
I didn't
together.
know that. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Then, yeah,
because
we
that's what
can, like,
Cal and I
join
were
in.
doing. We played each other well, not played against each other. We played kind of like a co-op version of it in Knockout
Yeah.
Tour.
Okay. Well, then that's how you do it. That's a good way to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, hit me up when you're ready to play. But let's go ahead and get into some of the recent
Okay.
news.
Yeah.
We had some presentations from Nintendo and Sony. I'm not gonna mention Xbox because they really they're they're dead in the
Who?
waters.
Who?
Right. So we do have the partner showcase. We're still waiting for the big direct. I thought for sure we get one by February, but it hasn't happened yet. So it's probably going to be an early March thing at this point. But we did get a partner showcase that showed some really cool stuff. First up, we got Orbitals, which is that anime aesthetic co-op game that kind of reminds me of like It Takes Two, and what was the other one? The sequel, the fantasy one,
Split Fiction?
Split Fiction. That's the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like it's in a similar vein to that, where it's an asynchronous co-op game, but it's
Yeah.
got a really cool like 80s anime style to it.
Yeah, it almost looks like something out of the same universe of Interstellar 5555.
Yeah,
The yeah,
the
The
Daft
Secret of
Punk
the
one. Yeah.
Galaxy. Exactly. That the with some of the bluer looking characters, and I
Hmm.
like the kinda 80s feel and kinda cartoony, like, hand drawn, like, it looks like you're playing an anime in a weird way,
Yeah,
like an
and it looks really cohesive too. Like it all like looks like one world.
it's pretty. Yeah, it's very pretty. Looks like it'll run really well, and, is this a Switch 2 exclusive right now, or is this gonna come out on something else? Do we know?
I believe it's going to be exclusive to Switch too.
Yeah, or at least they're announcing it right now on Switch 2, so who knows if it does come over to anything, it might be something that happens a bit later, which, either way, very cool title. I don't think I've heard of it before the announcement of that. Did you hear about it before or seen anything about it?
Yeah, it was announced. I don't know if it was an indie director or indie showcase or something, but they have announced it before. So like this isn't the first time we've seen it.
That's my
Um,
bad then.
it's the first time they showed gameplay though. I don't because the other
Oh.
one was just like or no, I think it was the Game Awards. It was actually the Game Awards they showed it, and it was just like an anime
Oh, it
trailer.
was a really quick thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it just showed like an anime cutscene almost. But this is the first time we actually got to see gameplay in action. It's set to release summer. It is a Switch 2 exclusive.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's kinda magical. Who's making this one? Do you know? I wonder.
A Shape Farm, and it's published by Kepler Interactive.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is Switch 2 exclusive, so we don't have to worry about them trying to make it work on Switch 1. It's fully utilizing the new hardware, which is nice.
Oh,
We're seeing a lot more of that now, where people are not afraid to announce that it's only on Switch 2. We got quite a few announcements in that same vein where it's like, okay, you know, we're moving on from Switch 1. There's still games coming to Switch 1, especially on the
yeah.
indie side of things, but a lot of the newer ports and
I'm
stuff.
just hoping the performance is good for that game because it's running on Unreal Engine 5 and it's got some cell shading.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So it's a Switch 1 release for that, right?
No, for that
You
game,
know,
no, but
but
what you're looking at is we're looking at some of the trailers as we're talking about 'em.
yeah.
This is the segment where they announced Switch 1 games that are also compatible with Switch 2 after Orbitals. They opened the
Oh.
show with Orbitals, and then they kinda went through, like, a
Mhm.
not a highlight reel, but they just went through some quick hitters. So Paranormasight, uh, that was one of the new ones that was announced. Don't have a lot
Mhm.
to say about that one.
The Mermaid's Curse. Yeah, it's not that I'm not into these types of games, I feel like you have to be in the mood for them,
Mhm.
uh, unless that's totally your type of thing. I thought this was Inazuma 11, which I don't know
Me
if you've
too.
heard of, but
Yeah, I was like, "Is this Inazuma 11?" I'm like, "No, it's the other anime soccer game."
the fact that there's another one.
Right. If I had a nickel for every time there was an anime soccer game, I'd have 2 nickels.
Seriously, because like, what? There's, like in the non-anime world, it's like FIFA and then I think PES or something.
Oh, yeah, Project Evolution Soccer.
Mhm.
We do gotta talk about this one a little bit, though, because I was laughing seeing the trailer for this one, Tokyo Scramble,
There's nothing to talk about here.
the not Dino Crisis. It was so weird too because this was a Switch 2 exclusive,
Yeah,
and this is the crustiest looking game I've seen in a while. It reminds me of, like, Zombie U when the Wii U came out, like, that's how bad it looks.
Krusty's a very accurate descriptor. Uh, yeah, it definitely looks rough around the edges. I don't know if there a release date on it? I wonder if it'll improve or if
I think that one comes out, like, February, if it's not out already.
yeah, it's already, like, at the end of its but you know what? Who knows? Maybe it's fun.
Yeah, it is out.
Oh, it's already out.
You know what? I'm
It's out now.
curious. Let me see what the reviews are for that.
The Meta? Are you gonna check the Metacritic? Let's find out what the gamers are saying and what the critics are saying.
Oh my. It doesn't even
User
have
score is
enough
pretty bad. It doesn't even have a critic score, so, like, what, did the critics not play it
there's not enough.
or not enough? Oh.
We've got Jesus Christ. We've got 2 critic reviews. You need at least 4 for it to show a Metascore.
Oh, and it's
One of them's a 50 and one of them's a 40.
wow. That
So yeah, exactly like Zombie U.
Oh, I never played Zombie U, but I actually hear there's people that love Zombie U though. I don't know.
It was an interesting concept. It was an interesting take on, like, using the gamepad
Yeah.
in asynchronous gameplay where, like, you could do stuff on the gamepad that affected the game, but, like, you couldn't look at both at the same time, but that was kind of the point, because like, you could get jump scared in the game while you were looking at the gamepad, like, rummaging through your bag or trying to unlock a door or something, so they didn't stick the landing.
Yep, it happens. It happens with gimmicks, unfortunately. That's the risk you take.
Yeah, so I was very surprised to see that get any airtime in the partner showcase because I'm like, "This isn't exactly a good advertisement for the console." After that, they announced, Valheim. This also looks pretty crusty from a visual standpoint, like, these textures are rough and the 3D models are even rougher, but at least with this one, the gameplay looks fun, and I've heard from some people online that it actually is a really fun game. There's actual excitement around this one.
Yeah, this one looks neat. Can't imagine it being more than 15 or $20, but we'll see where they go for the release of it. Hopefully it's a lot of fun. I'm glad that this little update was free for Hollow Knight. I have not actually beaten this one. I think I only put 2 or 3 hours into the game, so I definitely would start over.
Oh, man.
I, uh, I know it has a very large, fan base. I just haven't gotten around to it. It does seem pretty difficult, though, like, in the Metroidvania type of space where I have to be in the getting in the feels for it. Right now, I am actually playing through Zero mission on the NSO GBA service, and
Mm.
I'm a little almost at the halfway point, and yeah, again, kinda difficult. Same with the Castlevania games, you know? But, like, I don't know. It looks really nice. You've actually played Hollow Knight, huh?
Yeah, I've actually beaten it. I was doing some of the post content,
Yeah.
but I tried it out with the free update. It looks good. The only thing that's kind of a bummer with, this update as well as the one for Silksong is that on Switch 2, the 120 hertz mode is only in docked mode. It doesn't work in handheld. It's still limited to only, air quotes, 60 frames a second, but that's a game that would have been nice to see in 120 in handheld mode.
Uh, yeah, to see for sure, but in terms of experience, I'm someone that disables 120 in handheld anyway, just to squeeze a bit more battery life. I'd prefer to have battery life than frames, I guess. But um, yeah, it would have been nice because of how simple the game seems to be overall. Like, but maybe there's more to it.
Maybe. I know it's one of those things where when it is docked, if you don't go for the 120 hertz mode, it runs in full native 4K, and the backgrounds and the visuals are beautiful in that game anyway. So it still looks good either way.
Remember when they announced this last year, Elliot?
I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be fun. It's basically like an HD 2D version of Zelda, and there's some like time travel shenanigans. It almost like a Sword of Mana where like there's a bunch of different weapon types and they all play differently. They mentioned in the trailer too that you can only get certain weapons from certain time periods. So it'll be fun to see how they play with that and how hard it is to get certain items. But I enjoyed the demo. The demo was great. I just hope it runs really well in the final build. It targeted 60 frames in the demo, but there's some drops here and there.
It drops here and there, like in battling or in the overworld, anything in particular?
Just stutters here and there, like nothing crazy, but it was something I did notice.
Oh, okay.
It is a beta demo though, so I mean, I'm not too choked up about it. It'll probably be fine.
Were you into any of the Bomberman stuff? Like, I know that you had the Bomberman
Ah,
R on Switch 1 on release, but I don't know I don't know
yeah,
anything else about Bomberman and you.
it was fun. It was a cool little launch game. Definitely was one of those that I probably wouldn't have bought if there were other games to play during launch. I know we kind of hype up the Switch One's launch because of Breath of the Wild, but outside of Breath of the Wild, it was kind of slim pickings. So you know we're in a much better place with the Switch Two launch. And yeah, they announced the Bomberman collection, which is really cool, Super Bomberman, and it includes two games that never actually came out in North America. So I think that's pretty neat. Might- I might check it out if it ever goes on sale. It's one of those games that like I love Bomberman the series. My favorite one was I think it was called Bomberman World on PS1. It was like a whole adventure game. That one was really cool.
Well, that sounds fun. I think I played the N64 one. I don't remember what it was called, but I played one on N64 and I really liked it, and it was
Probably just Bomberman 64. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that's what it was.
probably. I think that's what it was, but it had some cool aspects of it for sure. Like, it wasn't just a puzzler type game. Like, there was a couple moments there where you could, like, I think there was, like, some 3D and stuff like that. Like, I don't think it was just straight, puzzles and stuff.
I think it's kind of crazy that just smack dab in the middle of this partner showcase, they just dropped Final Fantasy VII Rebirth like out of nowhere. Like that feels like something you probably should be ending with, but yeah, there it was, middle of the direct. There you go, June 3rd, Switch 2. We're already getting Rebirth less than a half a year after Remake Intergrade came to Switch 2. It looks good. I mean, they did a great job porting Remake, and this looks like it's going to be just as good. I'm probably going to get this one. I didn't buy Remake on Switch 2 because very recently, within the last year, played Remake on Steam Deck. So I don't feel like I need to play that one again, but I haven't really touched Rebirth. So I'll probably just play my playthrough of Rebirth is going to be on Switch 2.
The fact that you can play the piano as Cloud. I know there's people who have played like like big Nobuo Uematsu tracks from previous Final Fantasy games through that like mini game or whatever. I haven't played Rebirth. I am still in the like last few chapters of Remake. I just need to beat the game already.
Nice. So I guess you're not probably not going to pick it up on Switch 2 then, huh?
No, I don't think so. I think Rebirth will be one I play after the third part comes out. Like, I'll probably get it on sale or something like that, and then finally, I'm gonna be playing that series delayed compared to everyone for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting. I've waited a long time to even touch Remake, but I think when it came out on Steam, I was like, oh, this is a perfect time to check it out on Steam Deck, and it ran pretty well there. The Switch 2 port is definitely really impressive, though. I was hoping they would make some type of performance mode. This feels like one of those games that would be perfect for like the 40 hertz mode, where it's can't quite hit 60, but you can still get a slightly more fluid 40 out of it. But I don't think that's coming to Reboot for sure. That's a much more demanding game, so don't think that's coming anytime soon. But I'll just have to deal with 30 FPS.
Welcome to my world. That's my
Not
point.
saying it's unplayable, but man,
No,
I
I
just
know.
love seeing the more fluid games.
I get it, I get it. Oh, you like your fast frames. That's totally fair. Especially with a game kinda like the remake and Rebirth, and Crisis Core 2? I don't know, maybe? Um, it's just nice to I mean, it's action-based, most of the time.
Yeah.
But that's kinda why I like it in 30 is because it can look really pretty, and you end up kinda pausing the game quite often depending on how you play, uh, by going into your little command menu, and I really enjoyed that, so are you excited about Pragmata? Like, I don't know, I've seen this a few times actually, right? In the last year.
Yeah. They've showed it a few times on Nintendo. This one they announced a demo. This is one of the two games they kind of shadow dropped a demo after the direct. I still don't really know what this game is. I have the demo downloaded. I haven't really played it. I'm gonna check it out to see if it's something I'm interested in. But it is one of those games that is going to have a full 60 FPS mode on Switch 2. So kudos to Capcom for actually optimizing the game for the Switch 2 hardware. Between this and there's several other games that have a 60 FPS mode now. It's nice to see that become more the norm. And now it's like we consider anything that's not 60 FPS to be a bad port. It's funny how far we've come. Where in Switch One, there were games that literally could barely
Yeah,
run at 10 frames a second and were broken. Now we're at the point where it's like, no, it's not
where's
60.
my
And,
60
this
frames?
sucks.
I'll even take 1080 at this point, a lot of people probably would,
Yeah,
especially since it's, like, stable, you know?
1080 60 still looks really good. I mean, 1080 is a perfect integer scale of 4K, so it'll still look good on a 4K TV, especially in 60 FPS. If it's moving that smoothly, you're not going to really pay attention to the pixels.
Yeah, and lots of modern TVs are scaling anyway, so
Hmm. Yeah, I'll check out Pragmata's demo, see if it's something I'm interested in. I don't really think it is a game that I'll play, but we'll see if the demo can convince me otherwise.
yeah, I haven't even played the demo to Star Wars Outlaws. I'm really bad at playing demos.
Hey, that's another game that was a very good port. 30 FPS, but it still looks really good and it's stable 30, which is more important than anything. Is regardless of what frame rate they target, it just needs to hit that consistently.
Does Cyberpunk hit 40? Or is it a 30 only?
That performance mode is a 40, and oh man, it
Oh,
makes such a big difference. That's why I want more games to do that
yeah,
with the
me too.
40 FPS
Yeah,
performance mode.
really surprising.
It's if you think about it mathematically, it's an extra 33% more frames than 30 FPS. So even though it's not quite 60, it still looks so much smoother than 30.
Yeah, I really like it, and I hope that we get more 40 hertz. That would be cool.
This was an exciting announcement for some people. What is it? Kyoto Xanadu?
For some people.
Well, I mean, it's a niche game. It's a JRPG game, so it's like
Is this a series? Or is this brand new?
it's a sequel to Tokyo Xanadu, which was another game on the Switch One. I want to say it was this. This isn't Falcom, is it? I don't think so. I can't remember who makes this one. Was it Idea Factory? I don't. Oh, it is Falcom. Okay, it is a Falcom game. They're the same guys that make the Trails game, the East games. So it's from those guys. So that means it's probably going to run really well. It looked like even in that trailer it was running at 60 FPS, so it'll probably look really good. Trails in the Sky has a 60 FPS mode, and interestingly enough, they didn't show this here because it's already been announced. But Ease 10, Proud Nordics actually has a 120 FPS mode on Switch 2. I think that recently launched too, so I'm gonna have to download that and check it out.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one. I mean, I didn't know that they came out with you said there's a demo?
Not a demo, but there's Proud Nordics is kind of like a definitive,
Oh,
like a royal version of East 10 Nordics. So it's like it's got more content. It's got a Switch 2 dedicated version.
the Eve series and Trails kind of they seem similar to me, but I know they're not related at all.
No, except for the fact that Falcom makes both. That's the link between them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I played Ease 8 on Switch 1. It's really good, and that's another game that benefits from Switch 2 just running a lot steadier. It's a 30 FPS, but like, it was one of those games that in hectic battles, you could notice some dips. So it runs great on Switch too, and the music is really good. All of the Falcom games have really good music. So Trails in the Sky and Ease 8 both had really great soundtracks. So I'm looking forward to Nordics, Proud Nordics rather.
About Digimon Story Time Stranger. Is this a sequel or is this a brand new
It's as far as I'm aware, it's a
title?
brand new game. It might be. I don't know if it's related to Cyber Sleuth, but it's just a new Digimon game. It's been out for a while now on other platforms, but it did get announced for Switch too.
Oh.
This one is another game that it's going to be 4K, 30 frames per second in docked in quality mode, but it has a performance mode where you can get it at 1080p 60 in docked or 720. No, actually, handheld is 1080 60, so it probably just tunes some textures and lighting stuff down. That one's going to be July 10th.
And this is coming out for Switch and Switch 2, but
Yes.
I think it's I think what threw me off was the fact that this does exist. It's like you just said, right? It does
Yeah, it's
exist.
been out for a while. Time Stranger came out. Oh, I don't remember when it came out, but it's been about 6 to 8 months since it's been out on other consoles.
Yeah, because I heard about it being actually a really fun game. Like, I don't know, just some people raving about it online, like,
Yes.
"Hey, if you've never played, Digimon, or even if you have played Digimon, like, it's good for new and, like, older players." Because Digimon has had an interesting history. That's a whole rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
They've got so many different styles of games, like, starting off with, like, the PS1 games and, like,
World,
there's
right?
the port.
Digimon World was the first
Yeah,
RPGs.
Digimon World, and it's like a almost,
Is that the
like,
tactical one?
no, it's very unique. It's almost like you have, like, an animal farm, a digital animal farm, and you
Mm.
kinda, like, have to grow the Digimon, and there's, like, little side quests and things like that, but then the second one is, like, a dungeon crawler, but, like, yeah, and then Digimon World 3 is more kind of traditional, but very unbalanced. I don't know, this is all just stuff I've looked
Mm.
into and haven't actually played myself, but this looks really interesting. I don't know if I'll get it for Switch 2. It might be something I wait and just see how it does,
It'll go on
patch-wise,
sale.
perform.
All the Digimon games do go on sale relatively quickly, so you could probably pick this one up for $30 6 months down the line.
Exactly.
I was thinking of Digimon Survive. That's the one that was like a tactical RPG, but there is a big letdown with
Okay.
that one because like it wasn't really a big part of the gameplay. It was mostly visual novel with some strategy RPG elements, so it wasn't quite the same. It's not on the same level as like Cyber Sleuth and Time Stranger, where they're kind of like full JRPGs. I'm definitely gonna pick up Time Stranger. It looks like a lot of fun. I probably won't pick it up on launch just because there's so many games coming out in that like summer window that it's gonna be one of those that probably falls towards a wait for sale type thing. But it kind of looks like Persona, at least in the overworld parts.
I like the UI and the overall, world that they showed us. Looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've wanted to try this game out for a while, so having it on Switch 2 will probably be how I actually get into it.
Mhm.
Again, if it comes out on sale or gets a good sale eventually, that's another thing I wanna do this year, though. I don't want to buy games that are just good deals this year. I want to buy games that I intend to play relatively soon. I know it sounds impossible, but I'm gonna try to do that.
That's funny. That's the Steam gamer in you,
Yeah,
just
it is
just
funny.
collecting all the sales.
How realistic is this of a goal?
But, fun fact about Time Stranger, they announced the 60 frames mode in this partner direct. The PS5 and Xbox games, the console versions, do not have a 60 frames per second mode yet. They did announce after this that they're going to patch that in,
Oh,
but until this point,
that's fair.
those games were locked at 30 even on the Big Brother consoles.
That's unfortunate for how long it's been out.
Right. And it definitely can handle it. So it's really funny that, we got the announcement of the 60 FPS before they did. So,
It happens.
oh well. Just Nintendo Chad's winning, I guess.
Okay. One way to put it.
This was a big surprise, and I'm honestly surprised this wasn't a bigger deal, but Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok. This is a game that's been out for years on the well, not the Endless Ragnarok. So this is another one that's like a definitive version with new content, like a royal style. But Grand Blue Fantasy Relink has been out on PS5 for I think it's like 4 years. It's been out for a long time, and this is the first time they've showed any new content, and it happened in a partner showcase, Nintendo Direct of all places. So that was really funny. That's where this showed up. I will probably be picking this one up. It's coming out July 9th, exclusive to Switch 2. The Switch it's funny because I remember when leading up to the game's release, the devs were kind of like talking about a Switch port and that they kind of wanted to do one, and they never really
Yeah.
like committed to making one or announcing for sure that it was coming to Switch. It was just one of those things that in interviews they're like, "Yeah, we'd love to look into a Switch version," and it just kind of never materialized. But now that the Switch 2 is out and they were making the new content, they probably were like, "Okay, I think now's a good time to make the port of this game, make a definitive version that has all the content." That's a good way to sell ports on the Switch 2, by the way. Like if you're going to have old ports come to Switch 2, sweetening the deal by putting new content in is a really good way to do it so that you don't feel like you're paying full price for a game that's existed for years on other consoles.
No, that's honestly should be almost an expected thing.
Mhm.
Like, hey, you want to play this game? A little older. Fortunately, because it is an older game, it's going to run really solid. I imagine it's going to be a great port.
Mhm.
I've never played a. I've only played like the Grand Blue fighting games from back in the day,
Oh,
like
the
on
Versus
maybe
games, I
PS3.
think they were called.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus.
Yeah, it was like PSP. I think I played a PS Vita, maybe PS3, but like I think there was. I'm trying to remember. It was on a. I just named like a bunch of PlayStation consoles. I played something on there from them during that time, and I really like how this game looks. I'm actually a little sad that I haven't even I don't know. I've never even seen anything on it. I'll be honest. This one kind of flew under the radar for me.
Well, it's definitely a big deal for Grand Blue Fantasy fans just because the fact that
Yeah.
this game's been out for years and there's been no DLC, no new content for it, and then now all of a sudden we're getting a ton of new content, and apparently there's a couple characters that were not playable in the original version of the game that will be playable in this one. So it, I've seen a lot of hype from Grand Blue Fantasy fans that are like, yes, we're finally getting new stuff. So good for them, happy for them, and happy for us that we get to experience it on a Nintendo console. This looks like it'll fit right in.
Oh, definitely.
But next up, we've got probably one of my favorite upcoming games, one I've been looking forward to the most, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. This is a game that I've been hyping up Monster Hunter Stories 2 for a while now. It's a fantastic game. And I played the demo for Stories 3, which dropped the same day as the Direct. They shadow dropped a demo right after. That's basically the full game, but with a level 10 level cap. But there's people that are getting like late game monsties by just kind of cheesing the system. So like you can see a lot of the monsters that are going to be in the full game, even though there's that level cap in there. So, but the traversal looks really good. It's interesting. It's similar to Monster Hunter Stories 2, where they're letting it target 60 frames a second basically at all times, but it does have trouble hitting that consistently. I'm wondering if on release they're going to include a performance mode that lets it hit it more consistently at maybe a lower resolution. I hope they do. If they don't, though, that's going to be the prime game, one of my day one games that I'll be trying on the eventual Switch 2 Pro or Switch 3, whatever comes next with more powerful hardware, because having it unlocked means it's going to run fantastic once more powerful hardware comes out.
Hopefully, they have more access to the hardware, or they're able to just squeeze a bit more juice out of the system. But I think that's really cool that you brought up that point of the demo having a little bit of extra content. If for those who are patient to kind of maybe cheese the system a little bit. I know last year the Stellar Blade demo had something like that where you can enjoy a bit more content. So
Oh yeah, the glitch where you could get out of the map.
exactly, I think there's like an hour and a half more of content just left in the demo, and stuff like that really makes me. It's like the kid version of me is just like, "Oh yeah, this is so cool. Like, how do we do this?" Um, and the fact that your story or your progress carries over into it kind of reminds me of Dragon Quest demo when that was out. I think they took the Dragon Quest demo down, actually,
The
unfortunately.
11S one?
But yeah, yeah, I couldn't find it
What?
anywhere to re-download it on the Switch too because I wanted to play the demo and like go into it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I don't know if that's because they delisted it or if it's because Maybe, it just doesn't work on Switch 2 or something like that. Because I know there's some compatibility, misnomers between titles on the two platforms. But yeah, so I have no idea. I
I didn't know they took the demo down. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was like a 10-hour
It was
demo.
huge, bro.
It was 10 hours or so, right? Like you could.
That's what got me into it because I tried the demo and got to play so much of the game, and I was like, all right, I'm invested now. I have to get the rest of the game.
I mean, it's worth it at that point if you're going to be able to pick up where you left off. Like, what a great way to sell. I think there should be more demos like that. I know not all games are stupidly long like Dragon Quest, so that I understand it not being realistic, but give us more than just a stage or like a half a stage.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just like,
For JRPGs, it's great to have those type of
oh,
demos where
hands down.
you don't feel like you're losing an investment. Like, if you have the ability to transfer your progress over, it just feels like you're getting an early start on the game instead of just a demo.
It's part of the sale.
Yeah. Speaking of Dragon Quest, I'm surprised we still have heard, like, absolutely nothing about Dragon Quest 12. Like, it feels like we should have seen something by now. It was announced, what, like 3, 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was. I think so. I mean, I think it was beginning of 2024 or so, or was it even
Oh my
longer?
god,
No,
no.
it was 20.
It was longer ago, May 2021. It's been 5 years.
It felt longer.
Almost 5 years.
Doesn't feel too long ago though. 2021 feels long, but not long at the same time.
It's half a decade, bro.
Called what? Flames of Fate?
Yeah.
The fact that they had a title already though.
That's all they had was a freaking title screen, but what, no gameplay reveal, no trailer, like,
Yeah, it's
oh, it's developed using Unreal Engine 5. There's the problem.
gonna take a while.
Yeah, we won't see that for a while then, but it's just funny how long it's been. We've got a bunch of other Dragon Quest games. I know none of these were necessarily in the partner showcase, but I am happy to see that we got like the HD 2D ones with 1, 2, and 3, and then we got the remake of 7. I played the demo of 7. It's a lot of fun. I finished Dragon Quest 3 HD and was Dragon Quested out and was ready to move on to a different style of JRPG, but I'll probably come back to 7 at some point.
That sounds good. I don't think I have any interest in playing 7. I would probably play the original PlayStation version at some point, if I wanted to play it. I know that sounds kind of like a hater comment, but um, I don't know. I don't know. As a kid, I always really liked the aesthetic of 7. 7 looked really cool to me, and I like that there's time travel. I didn't know that. I learned about it in the recent re-release of it.
Mm.
There's time travel in the game. Like you have to do stuff in order to save parts of the world because you're affecting its past, basically saving parts of the world so that it exists in your future. And it's really cool. And I'm like, I didn't know about that. I wish I knew about that when I was a kid. I would have gotten this game hands down. Like, I love time travel stuff, period, especially if it's done right, which
Yeah.
sometimes it's not. So that's fair. But
At least we've had stuff to play in the Dragon Quest series since then, so it's not like it's been, maybe that's why that 5 years doesn't feel as long, because 'cause we've had other projects announced and released since 12 was announced, so it doesn't feel as bad.
not at all.
We do have a couple other, minor things they showed. They did show Scott Pilgrim EX. That's coming out March 3rd. I'll be picking that up. I love the first Scott Pilgrim game. It's so funny, the story of that game and how it came back just because of the massive demand, and they finally re-released it and everybody was happy. That was one of the first games that really started the whole digital versus physical argument with, like, like, if it's off the shop, you can't get it. Like, it's just gone forever. So now seeing it have a whole new game is pretty cool. Tales of Arise coming to Switch 2. I'm happy to see that. It looks like it targets 60 FPS, or maybe there's a quality and performance mode. It wasn't really clear in the trailers. I may pick that up. That might be another wait for sale type game though, because I'm like 80% through the game on Xbox anyway. We'll see how I feel and how it runs on Switch 2.
Yeah.
They showed Resident Evil again.
Yeah. Before we get into Resident Evil, though, I just wanted to say, uh, yeah, I don't know. With Tales of Arise, I bought it on launch for PS5, and you know, I want to give it a shot. I want to give it more of a chance. I just think I wasn't in the mood for it at the time, which was unfortunate because I bought the game, so that
Mm.
happens sometimes. But um, the fan, the fan, the fandom is very divided on Tales of Arise.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot of newer players that like it a lot, and then the older players seem to have a little bit of an issue with it, it seems. Um, but I think if you go into it with an open mind, it's probably best to just not try to compare it too much about or to previous entries or experiences you've had. Like, just see it as a brand new game, just existing in this world. Um, I know people think it's really pretty, so um, hopefully there's some meat on those bones.
Yeah, I've enjoyed my time with it. I think the combat is probably what was one of the more divisive things about it. It's very hack and slashy, and I'm not a big fan of that. But what fixed that for me is switching to Rinwell, the mage character,
Oh,
and that kind of fixed a lot of the issues for me. Like it was a lot more fun playing as her than as Alphen, the main character with the sword.
and you can do that, and the AI controls the main
Yeah.
character, right? Okay, cool.
And like other Tales games, you can issue direct commands to all your party members if you really want to micromanage it like that. I never got that deep into it. I was just like, let me pick one character I vibe with and I'll play them in combat and just manage items if I need to use them. But it's a fun game. I think it's a solid 8.5 out of 10. And the last thing they showed was well, there's two last things. They showed Resident Evil Requiem again. Super happy it's coming to Switch 2 and that it's going to run at 60 FPS, but it's like the third time they've shown it. Uh, Not really much to say about that. I'm not a big Resident Evil fan, but I'm happy it's there. What really confused me is that they decided that the one more thing for this would be the Fallout announcements. They got Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, Indiana Jones. That's a cool one coming to Switch too. And then Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. These don't feel like direct enders to me. I don't know why they didn't just go with like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I can understand that maybe that's a bit more niche, but that was kind of a more impactful announcement.
Or Rebirth.
But if you don't want to go with
Yeah,
that, then yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth would have been the obvious one. Like
I would say.
7 Remake is selling like hotcakes on Switch too. And and I think what helped that is that it was, they're selling it for $40. They know it's a late port. It's a very good port, but it is a late port, so they're pricing it accordingly, which is surprising from Square Enix. And Rebirth is, they didn't even mention this, but it's selling for $50. For as much content as is in that game, them selling it as a brand new port on Switch 2 for $50 is kind of insane. I'm just really surprised they didn't end with that instead. And that's going to be a trend because when we talk about state of play, they also kind of had a weak finisher that if they just switched a couple things around, it would have been a lot more of a solid overall impression. Like for me, the partner direct was decent. I'm somewhere in like the C plus to B. I would say B minus. It was a B minus. There was a lot of stuff in there that I really liked and can't wait to play. I think Tales of Arise was big. Digimon Story Time Stranger getting a 60 FPS. Kyoto Xanadu. Uh, Pragmata and Stories getting demos. That was super cool to see. Rebirth, obviously. And the Bomberman Adventures of like we got a lot of stuff in there. Like it's a solid direct. I just don't know why they thought Todd Howard would be a good way to end it.
Yeah, the energy there was a weird note to end on.
But hey, we got a state of play as well, and I don't usually watch these, but something just said, "Hey, let's see what's coming out." Because especially now, it's worth watching even if you don't own a PlayStation, because a lot of these games are going to end up on PC anyway. So I decided to sit down and watch it and see if they had anything good. They started off pretty strong.
Great opener.
Kenna or Kana,
Yeah,
I think it was called Kana. That's how they pronounced
I
it.
think.
Scars of Cosmora,
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sequel because I played the first one on
Bridge of
PS5.
Spirits.
Bridge of Spirits, beautiful game. The way it plays is actually really nice. I mean, it's like an adventure platformer type.
Now it looks like a really solid game, and this great way to open.
We don't get platformers very often these days. So to see one that seems to have so much love and care and
Production.
yeah, a lot of production. Yeah, this is a good way to bring people in who aren't really fans of it, and also impress those older fans to see how this character is growing. You know, it looks like the scope and the scale of the
A
world
lot
is a
bigger,
lot
yeah.
bigger, and
It looks like an actual video game too, which, sad to say, that's
yeah,
not always the
yeah.
case with Sony games.
No, unfortunately, because this is more like kind of reminding me what it
This feels
was.
like PS1 era, you
Yeah,
know?
like Spyro Crash, like
Yeah.
really cool to
It's got
tap
that same
into
energy
that.
to it.
Yeah, there's a there's a need for this. I mean, we don't have a
Mhm.
lot of it. What we do have a lot of are just like some really quirky sometimes games that are actually in this state of play, and they start blending into each other. But we'll talk about that when we get.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is a Sucker Punch game.
Ghost of Yotei Legends? What is this? Is this a sequel, DLC?
So
It's DLC, right?
this is a multiplayer mode that's free if you own the game. So if you
Mm.
own Ghost of Yotei, you actually can just download this for free, and it's a separate title that works off of the disc. So basically, if you have the disc, if you have digital version, you'll be able to enjoy this with your friends or just online people online. I know this is something me and one of my old roommates we really loved the first Legends that came out for Ghost of Tsushima, and a lot of fun. We played it for years. He played it longer than me, and you can like level up three of the different classes, and like your all your gear has upgrades and things like that. And
So is this PvE?
yeah,
Is it
yeah,
like you team up with
yeah.
someone? Okay.
It's no, there's some PvP, but it's not like what like it's like grouped PvP against you. You're this
Mm,
versus that group kind of thing, but. Yeah,
mm.
uh, I'm excited for Legends when it releases, and I might actually get Yote finally so that I can play it.
Something to finally make you buy the game.
Yeah, it's again, backlog is backlogging.
Meh,
Are you
no kidding.
are you into Death Stranding? I know you're not a PlayStation person, but they have it on PC now.
No,
Did you?
no interest in this whatsoever, but it's coming to PC, so good for PC players. I just have 0 interest in the series. I don't care about Kojima.
Oh, okay. Are you? So you're also not a Metal Gear type of person either.
Not really.
Okay. Um, I have respect for the games for sure, and Death Stranding is very unique. I heard from some people online that I follow that the second one does a really good job recapping the first one for those who don't want to have to play the first one. Like if they haven't and they want to play this one, apparently it's got just a lot more going for it. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, here's the thing about Kojima, right? I mean, MGS, Death Stranding. You know, it's pretty it's a wild story usually, and it's pretty far out there, and you know, there's people that really enjoy it, and I have a good friend of mine, he really likes Death Stranding 1, and maybe one day I'll actually sit down and play this, but it'll be a long time from now.
Yeah, I've got no interest in any of the Kojima games, and hey, our best friend showed up again in the state of play, Pragmata.
Yeah,
It seems between this and Resident Evil, like, Capcom just cannot stop. They can't help themselves. They have to show both of those games in every presentation,
you're
you
like,
know?
"Remember this? Do you guys remember this? Do you guys remember this one?" Yeah, oh, it's this oh, you've already seen it before. Okay,
This was
that's
kind of
fine.
cool, Legacy of Kain, Defiance Remaster. It definitely looks like a much more, low budget remaster. Was this a PS2 game originally?
It was, I thought it was yes, it was a PS1 game originally, but then the
Mm.
sequel also, I believe, was on
Okay, that
PS2.
makes more sense. It definitely looks like it came from somewhere in that era. But it's always cool seeing remasters of old games, and Sony actually doing something with them.
There's something very
Yeah.
PS4-esque about it. I don't know if that
No,
makes any
I get
sense.
you. There's a lot of games like that on PS4. This one,
I don't know what brand I think this is a brand new I think this is brand new, though. I think this is, like,
yeah,
a new
Brigandine
release of
Abyss. It looks like
like
Temu Fire Emblem, but there's actually one.
yeah.
I guess some of the creators worked on Fire Emblem before, Path of Radiance specifically. So this may
Oh,
be one to keep an eye on. Who knows?
oh, wow.
It didn't look super
Yeah,
impressive at first glance, but you know, it's one I'll have to look into more once we get
yeah.
closer. You mentioned this before offline.
I
Dead or Alive is not dead.
Oh, thankfully, I mean, it is a little dead because unfortunately Dead or Alive 6 really kinda tanked their player base, I would say. They just it wasn't too much focused on what really mattered, which was the fighting, aspect of the game, unfortunately. So there's a last round model coming out to somewhat hopefully redeem the losses that was Dead or Alive 6's last, what, 5? I think it came out in 2019,
Mhm.
so 6 years. Because this is a
Yeah,
PS4
it's
game,
been around a while.
and la- I'm guessing last round will only be PS5. I don't know if it's getting like a small touch up where they couldn't figure out to get this to run on PS4. If they get it on PS4, that's crazy. It says
Yeah, it
coming
looks
to
like just
PS5, so I'm
PS5, yeah.
guessing it's just
They got a free to play version available, so
um
that'll be, almost like a demo version of it if you've never played it.
yeah, but then you have to buy your characters and you end up paying for the game that way. It's a weird kind of mode. That happened with just the standard game, but more exciting, they announced the sequel, which we never even heard about until this point.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. So the new Dead or Alive is coming, and it looked like Ryu Hayabusa, right?
Yeah, he's in the games from Ninja Gaiden.
So that's pretty cool. I love Ryu. He would probably be my main if I ever picked up those games. So I mean, that's a trend with both the state of play and the direct partner showcase. We did get a pretty decent amount
Variety. Oh yeah.
of and variety of games. Didn't have much to say about this one. Control Resonant.
Yeah,
Um,
I played a little bit of the original Control. But did you ever play a Dead or Alive game before?
I don't think I have really. No, maybe in passing a long time ago.
This is where the games kind of start becoming a little samey here.
Oh, this Crimson Moon.
Yeah, this feels like an old MMO or something.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what this was. Like, it just kind of looked like another Souls-like action game, or more hack and slashy than Souls, but with
Lots of
that same aesthetic.
yeah.
Now we got Game Freak making an appearance. Another trailer for the Beast of Reincarnation.
We got some creatures evolving.
I don't know, man. Most of their games outside of Pokemon haven't been good. I don't think Game Freak is a very good game studio. I don't think it's just the crunch that the Pokemon company put on them. I just
Totally.
look at their
That's totally fair.
history. What was that one called? Town or something?
I don't even remember that.
Like that was a flop. One of the few games that was even halfway decent was Harmonite
Harmonite
on the
for
3DS. That
3DS. I
was
was just thinking about it. Yeah, Harmonite was really good.
that's one of the few that wasn't complete garbage.
I think they had another one that was maybe Japanese exclusive, but it was like a kind of doctor's game where like there's like operations and things like that. The Game Freak did once upon a time. I don't know if it was like a
Mhm.
Wii title or something, but
Are you talking about Trauma Center?
I want to say that, but I don't think that was Game Freak. It was a different.
I don't think so
If it
either.
was, it's look. Try to look up Game Freak like doctor game. I don't know what to even put, but um, it's there was a game that they came out. Oh,
Click
it's a
Medic?
PS1 game. Yeah. Okay. This is an old game. Yeah.
That's a deep cut. My god, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This wasn't even translated. This was just over there, and I heard really good things about this game. It being though very mature for it being like on a
Dude, is that Sugimori's art?
yeah
Like,
yeah.
what?
That's why they look kind of like that old style. Yeah, they have lots of
I've never heard of
they
this.
have
That's
lots of
interesting.
Pokemon things in here.
But yeah, if you guys are interested, look up Click Medic. Like you click a cursor.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I learned something new today. All right. Well, after that, this was kind of cool. Rayman 30th Anniversary
Did you
Edition.
ever play any of the old Raymans, like the first Rayman on PC
No, no.
or PS1? I had it on PC actually as a kid. Hard game, hard game. But yeah, it looks like a bundle or something, or like a remaster bundle.
Yeah, it's a remaster with like the original game and like or an updated version of it. There's a museum and stuff in there as well. I think it's already out. It's like 20 or 30 bucks. It's a digital release, but it's pretty cool that it's nice to see a lot of those old properties come back. So I mean between that We had Legacy of Kain. That's another one that was dead or alive. Like, there's so many old franchises coming back this year, and that's really fun to see. Mina the Hollower, we got a more concrete release window for this one. This is one I'm excited for. It's from the makers of Shovel Knight, if you didn't know.
Looks really cool. I really love
Mhm.
the everything about it. It looks awesome. There's just what
Yeah.
the heck? I love
Oracle of Ages type,
yeah,
feel to it.
yeah, but like I don't know. This is amazing. We need more games like this. Like this is I love how we end
Mhm.
up going so forward into the future that we end up missing some of the past, and this is one of those games that kinda captures that charm of the past.
Yeah, no, that I'm day one on Mina. It's been narrowed down to spring, so before May 31st, I guess, is when it comes out. There's a couple other smaller ones in there. We had Neva Prologue,
Yeah.
Yako Shinobi Ops,
Neva looks good.
Project Windless.
Neva looks good. I'm excited for Neva.
Oh, this is the one with the giant bird guy.
This, I don't know. I couldn't really take this too seriously just because of the nature of playing as a giant chicken, which is totally fine.
It's like
I think
it
that's
looks like
cool,
almost like a
but,
Muso, like a warrior style game with a giant chicken warrior.
I think for me to care about playing as a giant chicken, I would need even just a little bit of a goofy intro. Like, give me okay, so he's a radioactive chicken or something, like, give me, like, he hit his head and, like, now he can fight demons or something. Like, give me something kinda goofy, like, where,
Yeah,
you know,
it looks like it takes
it
itself a little too seriously, right?
yeah, like, that's the one thing, like and you know what? Like, I like it. I think it looks cool. I like that it's, like, different.
It is, yeah. It stands out from all of the other games, like you mentioned, that kind of blend together. This is one of the
Yes.
few that stood out.
Absolutely, which is fair, right? Like, that's good, you wanna do that, but then at the same time, give me
Still needs a
something
good
else,
hook.
dude. This is not a sequel to a series or something, this is something completely new. This is your opportunity to show me something, like, to make me care, like, just make me
Mhm.
care, that's it. I not make me, but, you know
It's got that stupid over the shoulder God of War camera. I hate that.
yeah, I've been playing too many God of Wars, but,
I know.
I,
Oh, speaking of, we'll talk about that later. We got some God of War
yeah, a little
stuff.
foreshadowing there, I guess, but
Yeah.
what is this?
How'd you feel about the Star Wars Galactic Racer?
Yeah. Pod Racer? Yeah, Pod Racer looks cool. Um, I know that's not the name of it, but, uh, I don't know, I'm kinda Star Warsed out. I'm a little I'm
Fair
I'm
enough.
pretty, if they keep Disney needs to stop trying to milk it and just either focus on
Let it breathe.
yeah, like, give it some time, make some but they're just trying to it's just cash cow stuff, which is fair, like,
Mhm.
you know?
It prints money, you know? But it feels like they're kind of doing today what Capcom did with Mega Man, where it's just
We don't
oversaturated.
need that. We want quality
Mhm.
games, we want experiences, man. We don't wanna just have another game in the backlog or the bucket or whatever, right? Like, what's this? What's playing right now?
So this was a new trailer for 007 First Light.
Um,
This is a we know this is coming to Switch too. It's a multi-plat game. It looks pretty fun. I'm hoping they stick the landing on this. This is a game I'm interested in for sure.
to have a young Bond, that's a first.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of like his origin story. That's why probably why it's called First Light. Makes sense. But I could see myself playing this one. I loved GoldenEye on N64 back in the day, so we'll see. Another series coming back. We got the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. I already told you I'm not a big like Kojima fan or anything, but I do understand the impact of this one specifically because now Metal Gear Solid 4 is not trapped in PS3 hell. You can actually play it on modern
With better
consoles, so
performance?
kudos for that. Yeah, and Peace Walker. We got Peace Walker in there too. It's just funny calling it a collection when there's only like 2 games on there.
No, they also
But
have, they're also updating all of the previous games, in the first volume. They're updating all of them
yeah, I did see that.
to higher scale, like, frame rate and,
Mhm.
like, resolution and stuff like this right here with MGS3.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's cool that they did
not sure
that.
if you know this since you're not much of a Hideo Kojima, fan, but he made Boktai. Did you know that?
He did Boktai? No, I
It
didn't
was
know
his
that.
baby. He did all 3 Boktai games.
Dang, that's I wonder, is there I don't even know if you'd know this, but is there like a ROM hack of those games that lets them work without the hardware thing?
Yes, there is. You can patch a ROM file to just have it, like, charge up your gun instead of going out in the sun. There's actually, like, a way to
Like a button combo or something?
Yeah, there's a way to charge up with, like yeah, exactly, like, pressing 2 buttons at once or something that doesn't interfere with the game, but there's ways to play it without the sun, experience, but why would you do that when you can go outside and you touch grass, right? Um,
Well, I mean, like, if we're playing it, like, loaded on our 3DSs, for example, like, there's no way
I know.
it can do that, but those are games I've never gotten into but always wanted to try,
Yeah.
specifically because of all the crossover quests in Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Hmm.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of content from Boktai in there. In fact, there's a few chips
What?
that are Boktai related, and I think it's Battle Network 4
Oh,
or 5, like, the main story has a whole section for that.
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I won't spoil it for you, but, there's a lot of that in the Battle Network games.
I did not know that at all. Now, this came to me as a surprise. However, this was a game that was announced last year, but they made a big splash, no pun intended, I guess, um, with this little creature here. Um, I'm forgetting his name, but he's
Darwin.
oh, Darwin. Okay, he's a little octopus.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this game. It's different, you know? That's something
I'm
I'll give
I'm
it
I'm
that.
all about platformers, and this is a great way to introduce it. Just sneak him into MGS. That's a very funny way to do it, especially because MGS is not like it doesn't take itself too seriously. So I think it was a really good shoehorn of a game instead of just having it.
Mhm.
Yeah, having it show up in one of Snake's boxes was actually pretty cool. This looks exciting. What is it? A brand new cast?
Oh, yeah.
Some people thought it was gonna be
Yep.
like a remake or something, but it's brand
No.
new.
This is a brand new Castlevania. It's coming to all platforms, obviously. Belmont's
Yeah.
Curse, and it's made by the people who did Dead Cells. And there was a ton of Castlevania crossover with Dead Cells. And from what I understand, Dead Cells developers basically begged Konami to let them make this game. And the fact that it's happening is so cool because you can tell, even in Dead Cells, it felt very much like a Castlevania game in disguise. So this was a natural fit. Like this is one of those like perfect marriages, like I'm trying to think of another example where like a third party took the reins. Uh, like Capcom handling Zelda games on the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, where they did just such a
True.
great job with it. Or oh no, the Crypt of the Necrodancer developers making Cadence of Hyrule. This is a very good like
Crossing over.
that's a good parallel to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, this is one of the best looking I'd say this is the best looking game from this state of play. Um,
Mm,
I'm most excited for I mean, look at this, man. The aesthetics is so cool. And
yeah,
like the whole
it's funny. The main character kind of looks like Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt with the blue attire and the long yellow ponytail.
Is this supposed to be Belmont?
I know you probably don't know who
I
that
don't
is.
know who that is. I can't follow. But is this a 3DS?
That's
Is
okay.
this a 3DS game?
Yeah, Inti Creates, the makers of Mega Man Zero, made this series. It started on 3DS, and you could get the whole trilogy now on Switch.
Oh, I never really messed around with this.
Very good games, but the story is kind of dark.
Is it like Mega Man Zero gameplay?
uh, s- it's hard to say it's like Zero. It's a side-scrolling action game, but like his gimmick is completely different from any other Mega Man game, so it's hard to give it a comparison. So the way he works is you've got a gun and you shoot things with your gun, but it doesn't really do a lot of damage to them. It just marks them. And you could mark them up to 3 times. The more marks they have, the more damage you can do with your flash field, which is his ability, which is a giant blue like orb that surrounds him. And basically when you have that blue orb out, it automatically damages anything that's already marked. So you shoot them with your gun to mark them, and then you hit the ZR button to bring out your flash field. But it also does other things too. Like if you're in the air and your flash field's out, it slows your descent. So like it's also used as a platforming
Oh,
mechanic.
that's neat. Does it actually take advantage of not take advantage, but is there, like, game design behind some of those elements?
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
that's
Yeah, the whole
nice.
game's built
Oh,
around that.
that's cool. Okay. Well, then that seems like a worthy time then, actually. Huh, I'm gonna look Azure.
They're all great games. If you're ever interested, definitely check out the Gunvolt Trilogy Enhanced. It's on every platform, so you can get it anywhere. But yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. I'll probably get it on Steam then.
the main character in here looks almost exactly like Gunvolt, like especially from this back view with the blue robe and the ponytail.
I could see it
Yeah,
with the
the
braid.
braided ponytail. But yeah, going back to Castlevania, I'm excited for this, and this is the only one they announced in here, but they put out like a press release later on that said this is just the first project
Yeah.
of announcements for Castlevanias for you. So we're gonna get other Castlevania stuff. And here's the thing. They can't just be like, "Oh, here's another collection." They've already basically made a collection of every Castlevania game already. We got the Dominus collection for the DS, the Advanced collection for the GBA games, the original collection for the NES and Super NES. So like we're probably going to get a very high budget new Castlevania game that may be 3D. Who knows? I know they did that once.
Yeah, kinda like the Lords of Shadows that came
Yeah,
out
so
before.
we will see more Castlevania
Yeah.
this year, which is super exciting.
Totally. And then another Silent Hill, looks like a pretty unique this one looked interesting. I am not a Silent Hill
Yeah,
person
me neither.
myself, like, I have watched people play it, and this is more of one of those games where I've watched friends play and things like
I'm
that.
happy to
It's
see it keep going though.
not something I Yeah, and you know what? Seeing something new about Silent Hill instead of it being about Resident Evil, right? Having Silent
Konami
Hill is
showed up,
cool.
man. Like we're
Um,
getting new Konami games like the Bomberman.
yeah,
Is Bomberman Konami?
they're busy.
It is, right?
Bomberman is Konami, I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah, so we've
Yeah.
got Bomberman, we've got Silent Hill, we've got Castlevania. Like it's so funny. There's a ton of memes online where it's like, "Oh, Konami when that pachinko money starts drying up," and it's like they're just making a bunch of games again. And they remembered that they can make games.
Yeah, because Silent Hill, F, right, came out
Mhm.
last year, and that one was really popular. Um, I've seen a few things on that, but
I want to talk about this one though.
yeah,
This
just
Rev Noir. Did you watch the trailer for this?
yeah, this seems like very nothing burger to me, I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. It seems like nothing to you, but this very much looks like the same vein of like a Xenoblade game. I'm really excited to see what this is all about. This
Okay.
has potential. It could be anime slop, and I can understand why you'd think that, but it also looks like they're trying to recapture some of the old like PS1 JRPG feelings, like the old Square Enix days.
Yeah, kinda like PS2 Star Ocean
Yeah,
3. Like, I could see them, trying to like you said, capture maybe that imagination and stuff, but, hey, you're gonna have to give
yeah.
me more than what we saw. Because to me, it's like it just does there's nothing stand out about it. It looks kind of like, "Okay, cool," but, like, give me some gameplay, show me some cool things that make me care. Like, I need to care
There
about
was
it.
something specifically about it, I don't remember what it was, but there was something specifically about it that was like, "Okay, you have my attention." I don't know what it was, but I think it was like the art director or something.
Do you switch characters? Like, do you play as a girl and a guy
I
or
don't
something?
know.
Like
It's
like
just a
2
teaser
separate
trailer so far,
characters?
so
Like, I
we
wonder
don't know a whole lot.
yeah,
It is a Konami game though.
yeah,
That's what's really funny. It's a brand new IP.
brand new IP. Well, like I said, man, maybe next time they show us a little bit more and they capture me. Like, they get me on board because I imagine it's gonna be a PS5 exclusive, at least timed exclusive before it goes to PC more than likely.
Yeah, it'll eventually come to PC. I know that, and maybe who knows if
And
it's
that's
Konami,
how it should
they
be,
might
man.
port it to
Everything
Switch
should
too.
eventually go over to PC, and that's how Sony's been doing it. There's not really
Mhm.
anything anymore, right? And it's usually just like a timed thing. Also, let me hear the music in this, right? I wanna see like because sometimes I'll see a game and I'm like maybe not that interested, but the music's really good. Like maybe the music is really good for this game, right? Like I don't know. I don't think I was paying attention enough to the music during the state of play, but the name is kind of cool.
But we'll see. Like you said, we need to see more anyway,
Yeah,
but it will be one I pay attention to.
for sure.
Uh,
What about this?
this
This is
was
a
a
mysterious name,
bit of a
right? What a
surprise.
mysterious. Well, I couldn't guess at all who this was the whole time. I really couldn't.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious from the get-go that it was John Wick, but I think it's cool we're getting an actual, like, high budget John Wick game. That's exciting. This has
Yeah,
potential.
that we haven't had something like this since Jet Li on the PS2.
Yeah.
So
If they stick the landing, this could be a really good game.
could be cool, but at the same time, I think it was lots of cutscene stuff. Like
Yeah.
there was some maybe game, but it was very. I think it's supposed to come out at the end of the year, so we'll see. We'll see how it does. But dude, let me talk right now about this game right here. This is Marathon. Actually, can we just skip it entirely
That's
because
fine
I
with me.
have that much. I give that many.
I don't care about Marathon, like, game
Thank
games as a
you.
service, like, miss me with that.
Marathon doesn't even care about Marathon.
They showed some PlayStation Plus games, and then they showed Soros. That's another one I just don't really
Yeah.
have an interest in.
Moving on.
So yeah, Soros, they talked about that. They talked about Marvel Tokon. This is one that's really got a good chance to be a big game. I love the whole style of it. I just need to see
Yeah, it seems like
more
yeah.
characters too, and I just don't like the whole you play as four characters. Like Marvel versus Capcom was tough for me because it's like I have to learn three characters' move sets, but I don't know if these are set teams because like the way they described it is this is the new one of the new Marvel teams or something. So like, is it mix and match or is it like set team combinations? I'm not sure, but it looks like it's going to be
Um,
fun.
pr- it's mix and match, I believe, and it looks really well
Oh
done.
yeah,
Man, the art style, the performance looks
oh
solid.
yeah,
Like
it's Arc
this,
System. You know it's going to be good.
beautiful. Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, it looks interesting.
20 playable
I want a
characters.
new Soul Calibur. Give me a new Soul Calibur. I want a new Soul Calibur
It
game.
has been a while, yeah. And now we're getting kind of into the late stages of it. There was only two announcements left. They announced that they're remaking the original God of War trilogy, the Greek trilogy. Those are the God of Wars I grew up on, so I will be very interested to see how they do this. How much
Mhm.
remaking are they doing? Is this going to be mostly a visual thing? Who knows? There's no gameplay.
We got
They just
TC
brought
Carson.
TC Carson on to talk about it and say it's in development. But
The original voice actor reprising his role. Really cool, very charismatic guy. In fact, he was kind of giving me Jeff Goldblum.
oh my god, he even
Uh,
looks like Jeff Goldblum.
in a weird way, I did
Yeah, he's got like the same facial features as Jeff Goldblum. Now that you've said it, I
see.
can't unsee it. His mannerisms too. Like, oh man.
It's crazy, right? Like but like really good. But it was them saying, "Hey guys, this is nowhere near done. We're being really
Hmm.
transparent with you," which I appreciate the transparency at least, right? They're not
Yeah,
like, apparently it's going to be good, but this is
and they're
all
full
just
remakes. It's not just a remaster. So that's another reason why it's easy to say, okay, cool. It's not out yet. They're just starting on it. That's
right.
fine. Take your
It's gonna
time. Make it good.
take some time, and I'd rather it be good. So take your
Yeah.
time. Don't need to rush it. It was smart of them to have, I think, TC Carson come up and say that. And can you imagine if he didn't show up and it was just a splash screen of it? That would
Oh
have
my
been
god, people would be
that would have
questioning,
fallen
oh, who's
flat.
gonna voice Kratos? Who's gonna voice
The whole
Kratos? Like,
state of play would have just fumbled right then and there. And so
yeah.
having TC Carson come up and talk so well about it, crack a few jokes, and just I don't know, man. Everything is nowadays, isn't like how it was in terms of like this is one of those games that has a lot of that old style to it. So like
Yeah.
you've got sex mini games, you've got lots of brutal gore. Uh there's just things that may change. And so I'm hoping with the changes they take because maybe they need to make changes that they make the right call.
Yeah, that's another thing I gotta watch for too. Like, I hope they don't sanitize it too much. Like, it was meant to be a very adult game in the
Yep.
first place. We'll
Yep.
see what they do with it. We're years away from seeing it, but I'm happy that they're doing it. And like you said, it's good that they rip the Band-Aid off immediately. Yes, the original voice actor's coming back to voice Kratos in these games, so
Yep.
you don't have to worry about that or
No
question
doubt.
that for the next
Yep.
5 years while we wait for the game.
Exactly. No, that's if anything, you can be excited for that aspect. But getting a prologue, or no, I'm sorry, prologue, getting a prequel where you play as almost like a teenage, maybe young adult Kratos is pretty cool. I like how they captured, some of his stance and his fighting moves with the spear. I think they did a pretty good job here. But I hope this does well too. Very different for the God of War series. I don't think there's anything like it right now.
I think a 2D God of War is cool. I'll be honest though, this game looks so bad. I can't get
I think
behind this.
it
It
I
looks
think it looks boring. I don't think it looks bad. I think it just looks, like, kind of dead, like, the color
yeah.
it
That
looks
maybe
like
that's what it is.
it's like someone's memory of a game that you're playing constantly. So I don't know, like, if the palette can be changed or something or, like, 'cause it
And
kinda
the
all blends.
character art, like the pixel art doesn't look authentic. It looks like they just took a 3D model and just ran it through like a pixelizer or something. And there's just something like off about it. Very low. I don't want to say low budget, but like low effort. Like it doesn't have like a good identity. It's I don't know. I'm not super hyped about it.
If it was like a $15-$20 game, though, I think that's okay to if they would have said something like that or, like, shared the price. I know they said available today, which is also kind of a surprise.
It's
But
$30.
it's $30? That's a bit much, I
Yeah.
feel, for this, but that's just me. Yeah, I will I don't know. This would have to be I don't know if I'll ever play this, but I mean, good for the God of War news, right? Like we've got the trilogy remake,
Mhm.
we've got, they're making content. Hopefully, this leads them eventually to, between this and obviously the remake trilogy, we get something that is concrete regarding the series. Like, where are we going after Ragnarok? Are we branching off to Atreus, Kratos' son? Are we gonna play as Atreus in a spin-off title, or are they gonna introduce, you know, Kratos going into a different domain of like lore? Like he came from Greek
Mhm.
to Norse. Like, is he gonna go to Egyptian? Like, what's next?
Yeah.
They do some foreshadowing in the game where he can go to different dimensions and stuff. So it's like, cool. Where are we gonna go with that? And I hope this is all just precursor to that. And whether or not we get that with from Santa Monica this console generation, since right now we're in
I
a
don't
weird
think so.
spot.
I the remake trilogy feels like the kind of like the swan song.
Yeah, where maybe we get next God of War and it's PS6 and that's a really good console seller or something like that.
Yeah.
I could
It could be
see
a
that.
launch title. I could
Yeah,
see that.
I could too, or something to that effect, right? Like maybe
Mhm.
it's Naughty Dog's new game. They have that space game. I'm kind of forgetting what it's called right now, but they have a new IP they're making, right? And that's going to be a pretty big deal. I believe that's going to be PS5. Probably runs better on PS5 Pro, but it'll be a PS5
Mhm.
game. Um,
Speaking of which, how funny was it that at the beginning of the God of War: Sons of Sparta, the 2D pixel game, it had a little footnote that was like, "Oh, captured on PS5 Pro." There's so many games on PS5 that could use the Pro
like,
treatment, and they showed a freaking
please buy
2D
one.
game.
Please buy one. Please buy a Pro. Please, they want. Wow, that's so goofy. The PS5 Pro. I just noticed that. Like, really,
That's what
guys?
I'm saying, like, this oh, you had to specify that this is Pro footage.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I did not even notice. I mean, I noticed it, but I didn't think like, oh, wow, this is the power of PS5 Pro.
This is the power. By the way, the Hollow Knight, captured on Switch 2, like, what are we
Oh,
doing?
this did look.
I mean, overall, I feel like this was kind of a lame final announcement, and just like the partner direct, it feels like if they just shifted a couple things
Yeah,
around,
could've been better.
it would have left a better impact.
Totally.
Like, you could have ended with Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. I think that could have been a good ender, or even just if you wanted God of War to be the final one, reverse these. Show the 2D game first,
Go
and
this first.
then do this
Yeah,
remake
easy,
trilogy.
easy. That would have been my choice. Actually,
Yeah.
really good call out because And then, you know what? Another right before Ender, like, to kinda boost morale, I would say, like, maybe have Belmont's Curse before Sons of Sparta and then end it with,
Oh, no,
like,
no, you can't put those 2 next to each other. I don't think that would've I think Castlevania would've just completely mogged Sons of Sparta. So it's probably good that they're very far away in the presentation.
maybe you're right, yeah, we already forgot how cool that is. Um, yeah, yeah, what an odd time. I don't know, I mean, it let me actually talk about that. We live in a very strange time, right? We've got RAM, that's being used for an onslaught of AI that's gonna take over the planet shortly. So there's very, very scarce supply of hardware out there. Now, I have heard that Sony made a contract in advance, like in 2019, 2020, to actually have a large amount of RAM, access to RAM,
Mhm.
dating way back before even the PS5 was released. They made deals with their RAM suppliers to be okay. So I don't know if, we've got an interesting scenario where recently they're renting out PS5s. They're going to be renting out
It's
PS5s
so
to people.
stupid, like, that it's so bleak. You should not have to rent your console, man.
No, absolutely. I mean, subscription based is what the world wants to run on
Mhm.
as good business, and it's sad. You just can't even own your own bowl of cereal anymore. You gotta rent the bowl of cereal
Right.
with the
You're licensing the rights to that box of cereal.
may come with a bowl.
Yeah, the RAM shortage, I feel like that's important to bring up too. We've got a lot of game announcements, which is good, but for hardware, I mean, the PS5 Pro is already way too much. It's what, like $800, and then or $80 if you want a disc drive. So I'm really happy that the Switch 2 is only 450. I know that was a sticking point when it first came out, that there was some sticker shock. Like, oh, why isn't it 350 or 399? But like looking at it now, especially in hindsight, it's like 450 is not a bad deal. Speaking of the RAM shortages, I don't know if you knew this, but the Steam Deck is sold out in North America right now. You can't even get the OLED model.
Yeah, I did hear about that. It's pretty unfortunate for anybody who was on the,
Mhm.
waiting to hit purchase or looking forward to getting on the Steam Deck train because I don't. Are even any of the refurbished models available? Do they have anything
No,
refurbished anymore? No.
not right
They
now.
cleaned out, a lot of
Yeah.
their stock, which is really sad. But at the same time, Valve is probably doing that, like, being very conservative on purpose because they offer lots of, good, like, hardware repair and things like that. So there's probably they might have, like.
They could just be allocating parts
Yeah, they
for
might be
warranty purposes.
exactly that. Like, I imagine they're being conservative on purpose before they release. Obviously, we've got the Steam Cube or whatever it's called, the Steam machine.
Did we ever get it the Steam Machine, did we ever get, like, a price on that?
No, because it was not defined yet, like, because of everything being up in the air. I think it's supposed to come out end of the year or maybe middle of the year this year. So we'll hear about a pricing this year, at least, I'm sure. Um,
That's gonna be man, I'm really curious to see what they actually price that thing at, because it's a very volatile time for something like that, and it's like, if they can price that right, if the Steam Machine is like 499, or even I think even 599 would be a good price for it, where it's competitive to consoles. Because looking at the Steam Deck is one of the best values in gaming right now.
it is now. I'm
Like,
even happier that I bought. I always bring this up. I don't know if I have on the pod, but I'm happy I bought yours, especially now. Um,
oh yeah.
yeah, just incredible value. Incredible value. The fact that there's just so many games that have gotten ported over and Steam Deck verified, uh, which just means the game will just work more often.
It doesn't always mean a lot. I know Borderlands 4 was Steam Deck verified recently, but the game runs at like
But
15 frames a second. So,
yeah, but
you know,
that's their fault, and most Borderlands games are really bad on most of
yeah.
the console launches that they have. I know they tend to get better as time goes, but, um Yeah, the fact that you have so many games that run on the console, the fact that you can emulate PS2, GameCube so well on them is really
Mhm.
amazing.
Even Switch One.
Yeah, the Switch One to a point, you're right. I mean, it's not as stable, but yeah, you can do Switch One. Um, there's just
Yeah, just some buyer advice for anybody listening that you didn't ask for. If you're looking to get into the PC market, I know there's a lot of new devices out there, the Ioneos, the Legion Go 2, what was the other one? The Xbox one, I forget what that one
the
was
ROG
called, the
Ally.
ROG Xbox Ally. Don't get those. You're looking at maybe a 20 to 30% increase over the Steam Deck's performance for, like, triple the price. If you really want a good value for PC handhelds, and either to complement a Switch 2 or get in lieu of a Switch 2, like if you're just not into Nintendo games, the Switch 2 is already good value. You've heard us say that over and over again. But if you need something more platform agnostic and Steam, find a way to get yourself a Steam Deck, whether it's the LCD model or the OLED model. Getting one of those for 500 bucks or less is going to hold you over until the market calms down and we can actually get reasonable prices for these consoles again.
I agree with that, and someone who owns an LCD model, you don't lose a whole lot for having an LCD model, especially if you have an
It's a great
OLED
piece of
if you
hardware.
have an OLED TV, you especially don't, because if you wanna
Yeah.
experience OLED, you just dock it and you can enjoy it from there,
Mhm.
but in handheld, it works great. I've told you before, Steam Deck, you can do streaming from your Xbox, you can do streaming from, with some tinkering, if you're into that, you can get even your PlayStation to be remote played over to it, and like I told you, the battery life is awesome for streaming games. Streaming game
Yeah.
is just on another level. We're talking 6, 7 hours, which is crazy to think about, but, obviously it's bandwidth, you know, uh, dependent.
And that's the LCD model. The OLED does have a better battery, so if you're getting 7 hours of battery streaming, you could probably damn near double that on the OLED model, and it's funny you mentioned streaming, that's actually one of the reasons I got the Steam Deck originally. I wanted to be able to stream from my Xbox to finish my Elden Ring playthrough in portable mode.
Did you ever get to do that?
Yeah, I played it a lot like that in my first playthrough. The thing was, it wasn't on, like, Game Pass or anything, so it wasn't like xCloud. I had to actually stream locally in my Xbox, and there's a lot better ways to do that now on the Steam Deck. There was a lot of workarounds and tinkering that you had to do to get it work back then. That is a name of the game too when it comes to Steam Deck or any of those PC handhelds for that matter. Just keep in mind you're not getting a true console software experience from the standpoint of, a Switch 2, you put in the cartridge or you download the game from the eShop, you open it up and you just play. There's a lot more work that needs to go into making the game run or making it do the things the way you want them to on Steam Deck or any Windows, Steam handheld, any of those. So if you are looking into getting one, just keep in mind if you're someone that doesn't like to fuss with things,
Mhm.
there's a little bit of legwork if you're going to do a Steam Deck or a PC handheld.
That's a good call out, yeah. You just have to kinda temper your expectations, and be aware
Mhm.
that it's not just gonna be plug and play.
It's getting better, but it's not quite the same level as just buying, a Vita back in the day or the Switch or Switch 2 now. Like it's
Kinda wanna mention that with Steam Deck, the one thing that I've noticed owning it and using a Steam Deck, for probably a year and a half, 2 years now, um, docking it isn't a totally seamless experience like it
no,
is on the Switch or Switch 2, when you're docking it, I personally restart the entire game
you
before
got to fix it.
docking it in order. There's a lot to consider, right?
Yeah.
It there's so many different hardwares, and the thing about Steam is that, you kinda have to go into it realistically and be like, "Okay, this is at its core still a
It's a computer.
computer.
Yep.
It's not tailored to be a console. It's console-like, but it's not a console." It is its own thing, and it's just something to be prepared for,
Yep.
and,
You gotta have
some people don't
patience.
wanna do totally fair, like, I love the Switch too. I think it's great.
We
Do I
kinda
wanna
take
get
it for
every
granted
game?
how convenient it is to just put in your cartridge or download the game and just run it. We kind of shit on it for not having like thieves and all this stuff on the home screen, but for as minimalist as it is, it just works. So it's such a nice
Where's my Wii menu music? Where's
the
my
eShop
Switch
music,
menu
right?
music?
Yeah, I still want those things. Don't get me wrong, but it is nice having a true console experience with those, where it's just you open up the game and you just jump right in. Less than 10 seconds, you're in.
Exactly, and then, also with Steam, because it's PC, you're not paying for
True.
online, so there's a joy to playing games and not having to be tied to a subscription on top of buying games or additional content.
And of course, the fact that it is Steam. So, I mean, you probably already have a library of games you can immediately port over. To me, that was one of the coolest parts was like, oh, I could just jump right into a lot of the games I already own on the Steam Deck. So that was a novel experience for me, is just immediately having access to a giant library of games right off the bat.
Oh, totally, and the fact that you can, have a little group and share with your friends if they're part of your family and whatnot. That's a huge win there. I think the one
That's
console that has
the way to do it.
the one console in my home that's garnered dust is unfortunately my Xbox Series X. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah, poor
beautiful
Xbox.
it's a beautiful monolith of a, rectangle, but, unfortunately, at least it's a good dust collector for now. But I guess it's an investment, right? It's an asset now, I guess, because
Oh yeah,
now it's worth
because it's gone up in price.
so much. It's crazy. Uh, I I
Yeah.
I I hope the timelines merge or something. I don't know. That was a that was actually for anybody listening, that was a Life is Strange nod at the third game that got announced recently and should be coming out soon. The fact that they're
Oh
making
boy.
a third Life is Strange is supposed to close up maybe the story with the original characters. Oh boy. But yeah, I don't know. Crazy timeline we're living in.
Well, speaking of games that are coming out soon, let's kind of wrap this up talking about what
Yeah.
we're looking forward to or what you hope to
Okay.
see in 2026. We're still at the beginning of the year, so there's still a lot of times for things to happen. We've got, the summer E3 era where everybody does their big shows and announcements. Nintendo still is yet to really kick off 2026 with their own main full fat direct. Uh, I'm of course looking forward to Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, but there's other things that I'm hoping to see, ports of certain games on Switch 2. I'm really hoping we get a Final Fantasy 14 port on Switch 2. I will be all over that if that happens. But what are you looking forward to and hoping to see?
I'm with you on Final Fantasy Online coming out because that would be amazing to have 14 on just all the different things that could be possible with the Switch too. So, for me, oh, I don't know. I I'm thinking outside of that, I am also excited for that to come out. But if it does come out, which I think they announced it last year, didn't they? Like last summer or something like that. I thought they
It's
brought it
not
out, right?
official, no, but, like, they've talked about it where it's like, "Yeah, we want to bring it to Switch 2." Like, Yoshi P's already said he wants to do it, so I think it's just a matter of time, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to get teased to a next Mario game. Like I want
Like
this
3D?
year to be, hey, this is what is going to come out soon. Like I don't see it coming out till maybe next year. Um, but maybe we get some
You
ports.
never know, could be their holiday game.
Yeah, maybe we get like some ports of something this year, or maybe we get a brand new. I know Wonder is going to get some extra content for the Switch 2 release here in March, I believe, right?
Yeah,
So there's that, but I don't know. I want them to show me like, is it Mario Odyssey 2? Or is it, like I want to know if it's something brand new or if it's going to build off of Odyssey or um I want
and you're
some
specifically talking 3D Mario, right?
I want the 3D Mario back because it was a long time since we've gotten Odyssey. I think Odyssey came out at the end of the first year that it launched. So,
Yep,
uh,
2017, almost a decade now, so I think there's a very high chance we get a reveal for the next 3D Mario whenever this new direct comes out.
I hope so. I mean,
So I don't think you'll have to wait very long.
No, and that with the other thing would be I want to get previewed on Generation 10. I want to see the three starters. I want to see something about the aesthetic of the game.
Mm.
I want something to hold me over or to make me just kind of dream about where my adult childhood will go when that finally drops, and hopefully it's a good time because I mean, that's all I'll say about that.
I'm hopefully this will be a release and reveal without the controversy. You've got the Switch 2 to work with now, Game Freak. You got no excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pokemon Day is coming up at the end of February. So hopefully we'll have a Gen 10 reveal there. I think it's about time. Very good chance it shows up there. We'll see what happens there. Aside from that, some other things I'm looking forward to this year. I want to see what Switch 2 editions or Switch 2 upgrades we get for certain games. You already know I'm still waiting for that Xenoblade update for X or any of the trilogy. I want to see like some Astral Chain that could use an update. God, imagine that at 60 frames a second on Switch 2. That's a gorgeous game. I would
Oh,
replay that from scratch if we do get that.
oh, absolutely. That's worth it. I don't know of anything else that's supposed to come out this year though, like, like a Kirby or like um I don't think we have I know the Kingdom Hearts community was really sad about not hearing anything during the state of play as we usually are. It's like,
Oh, for 4?
there's always like somebody posting exactly for 4 or spin-off
Getting the
anything.
clown makeup ready.
Exactly, that's what it is, clown make, "Hey, man, when are we gonna stop having to put this on?" It's like, "Hey, we you guys canceled Missing Link," the Pokemon Go type of game that was gonna come out, and it's like, "Are you gonna use all those assets that you literally had almost an entire game built? Are you gonna just make that a console game? Make that somehow fit it into make it a console release, and then,
Put it in one of the collections, you know?
Yeah, I mean, not even that because just release it as a before Kingdom Hearts 4, leading into Kingdom Hearts 4, or like have it be
Kingdom Hearts
like
3.8 prologue.
yeah, that's a joke. I don't know if you know that that's a joke in Kingdom Hearts 3. You didn't play KH3 yet, did you?
No, but I know they made like the 2.8 thing for it, so that's kinda what I was riffing off of.
Well, you riffing is revealing something that you don't even know about yet, which is really funny. And um
Nice.
the first part of the game basically just I'm gonna tell you because it's like within the first two, like maybe 10 minutes of the game. It basically runs you through a tutorial to like choose how you're gonna play the game, like it does with other Kingdom Hearts games, and you fight a dark side and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden you're in like Hercules world, and then it like introduces Hercules world, and then it goes Kingdom Hearts 2.9
Oh my god.
on the screen. Like this is very Japanese humor. This is very like um you're using someone's PC in Pokemon, and then all of a sudden you meet
God.
Bill, and then all of a sudden it's you're using Bill's PC, and it's like that's very Japanese humor. I feel like.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll play Kingdom Hearts 3 when we finally get our native collection of the Kingdom Hearts games on Switch 2.
Oh,
Um,
that'd
I
be great.
I'm kind of holding off on my Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough until that happens, and I'll just replay it from scratch when we do get them because it's a matter of time, bro. And I think there was a leak a couple months ago where they talked about it. Like we are getting native ports of the Kingdom Hearts series on Switch 2. It's when, not if, you know?
That's true, but man, it's been when for a while. Um, I hope we hear something.
That could be a closer. That could be a one more thing.
Yeah, I could see
You
that.
know, after after the whenever the next big direct happens, that could be our finisher.
Yeah, bring it to Switch too, and don't overcharge for it, Square Enix. Like, give us it for like $60. I think 50 or 60 would be okay. And promise
Mm.
that it's also solid in performing, right? Like, make sure it's not like when it released on Epic. I think there were some issues there, and um,
The PC ports had issues too. Like I could only play the Kingdom Hearts games on Steam Deck because For whatever reason, anytime I try to run them on my native PC, whenever I go into a cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 1, it would just go to a black screen and be stuck, and I'd have to restart. That was
That's
so
unfortunate.
frustrating. And they never fixed it either, so it was just, "Okay, I guess I'm never playing this on my full PC. It's Steam Deck it is."
There's just so many pieces of hardware to consider, you know? It's one of those things where that's kind of the con to using PC titles strictly sometimes. You just never know if it was optimized, and you're not gonna get the level up of optimization that consoles do on PC, unfortunately.
No. But that's why the Switch 2 ports should be good then, because they're targeting one piece of hardware, so
Right.
they better
You
get it
would
right.
think. You would think. Thank you for talking about the, partner showcase with Nintendo, and also the state of play, and kinda recapping pretty much both of them, and giving our takes on things, what we're interested in. Um, Orbitals, if we're talking about, I think orbitals will be fun. I wanna see more of that,
Mm.
um, in action, and, hopefully that's a good time. Do we have a date on that?
Uh, I don't know if we got an actual, like, release date, but it is coming out soon. Summer. Yeah, it's coming out in the summer.
Oh, that's a good summer title then, because summer's usually pretty dead with releases, so that'll be nice
Mhm.
to
Not this summer. We got a lot of stuff coming this summer.
That's true. Nintendo's good at doing summer stuff. They kinda always have.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that about wraps things up today. Thank you for making it this far, if you have, for those listening, at least, and thank you for joining, Zero. Not even, I mean, it's been a long time since we've done this, so I'm glad that we got around to it. And I know we always say, hopefully it doesn't take too long till the next time.
Become a running
But
gag at this point.
keep, keep on the lookout. If you're vibing with us, thank you. Drop a like, comment if that's something you want to do. Um, yeah, we're here. We're here, and we'll respond. Um, Anything you want to close out with, Zero?
No, I'm just looking forward to this year. I've got a good feeling we're gonna get some good stuff in 2026. Just waiting for everything to kinda drop.
Me too. Same here. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. Bye, all.
See ya.